Yo, what is good, my anime people? What is good, yo? So, Plunderers comes to an end just like every other show I've been watching lately, and it is clearly setting up a second season, there's no doubt, which is really cool. Um, but at the same time, it looks like the darkest above darkest move is being pulled, which I don't like, but we'll get to that later. This show got some of the weirdest hate I had seen, that I was talking and just hearing what this person was like going on about in the case of his source or like his actual reasoning to say, like, for instance, if you just say something, if you're just like, yeah, that show sucks, I'll be like, okay, why does it suck? Oh, because it sucks, clearly. Like, if that's your rebuttal, then you already don't have any real reason to be heard anymore, in my opinion. um, but the person's rebuttal was more or less like, oh, even the author said this and that about his own show. People know that it's the most bland, disgusting, but like just all this different stuff. And I was like, okay, well, I have a new mindset to go in with this show is to see what is bland, what is, not original, what is this and that. And then I forgot about it. Like, I completely forgot what that guy said and just enjoyed the show like I always do. There's no reason to go in the show thinking what someone's already put out there if you already have started watching the show without that opinion in your mind. Some people, it's gonna be there because that's the only thing you had to go off of, and as soon as you start going in there, it's fresh on your mind or something along those lines. It was never on my mind from start to the middle, and it was funny to me to be like, where where all this like normal stuff that any anime is still doing to this day is being kind of, it's being super hard, acting like it's the original idea came from this show, like, having power-ups because of friends, or being weak at first, but because someone else is in danger and you're leaving them in danger, you get like a power up. Like, that's normal stuff that happens in every single show. Like, I don't know what people expect in anime. If you expect every single author to just go off the rails and make every character completely unique, every show aspect unique, the plot unique, it's hard. It's really hard, and clearly you can see it through here because there's some interesting concepts that were done that then just wind up being used in the like tropey trying to type of way. So I can understand people's frustrations if you read it and then you didn't like it, and then all of a sudden it comes out and people are actually liking the anime and it's following the source material, the manga that you hated. That would suck, but at the same time, that just goes to show you that there's so many different people out there that have different tastes. This show ending the way it did, with everybody kind of just mending their own wounds or pushing forward their agendas that, or not their agendas, pushing forward their promises that they had put out there for 300 years ago for two people, and the fact that another person's kind of understanding that there was someone by her side that probably she could have been with much sooner, but she couldn't even see him because of the person she was so infatuated and in love with. So it's these types of things that truly were the saving graces of this episode. Otherwise, it was just Lich swinging his sword with yellow energy on it, cutting some mass that pretty much seemed like it was in his conscience more than the actual ability itself. It was like him, it was like part of himself telling him, like, you can't break out of here, or you shouldn't break out of here because you'll be safer in here. Felt more or less like something it was doing because of him being there, not so much that anybody else who gets sucked into this power would see these masks pop up. I don't think that's the case. I think that's just because if you remember as well, the masks were something that he was kind of going and consulting with, and then he also chose for himself to just grab one and use it. That is a lot of damage. um, but yeah, I think that the arc of him of Lich growing the way that he does still feels kind of left open, you know, in the case of he doesn't seem like it's over. He doesn't seem like this was the final steps of his overall narrative of the story, and because of that, the second season still has some work to do on his character, which I think is smarter than uh, you know, capping him off and making him the person that he's gonna be for the rest of the show. And more or less, he still has to prove the fact that the thing, his ideals still can exist. Can he take out all of these people and, you know, do this plan without killing? Like, has he now created the true army that doesn't kill? Because last time I checked, they actually don't wind up killing anybody this week, right? Like, no one ends up dying and everything goes relatively fine. So it's these little notions of how the story is giving us what should have happened, and now it's actually happening in the future. 300 years later. It's nice to see, but at the same time, like I was saying at the beginning, the main bad guy is taking the dirtiest route to try to win, and I hate him for it. But yet, I also understand him for it, which is unfortunate. Um, but it looks like he brought back all of Class A. All of Class A. And here's the thing about it. Maybe they're just wearing the outfits that we couldn't really tell from the position we were at. But they all look like they haven't aged a day. A day. So, I don't like that. I already don't like that. That sounds like some weird cloning type of, oh, I cloned their genes, and it's not really them, but they have the memories of them. um, I don't know where it's gonna go, of course, and I am interested in seeing what everybody's feeling on Plunderers at the end of the day, because it was very, very dark and not dark at times, and I think that's a really big part of why I loved it, is how quickly the tone just shifts, and you either have to take it or you leave it. I love that part. But at the end of the day, the other part that I did love was seeing what actually happened to this world. Why is it the way it is? Who is, you know, in fault for this? Why hasn't that person shown their face and tried to change? You know, just very, very simple things that are going to clearly be answered towards the end kept me interested throughout the whole entire season, at least. So, Plunderers wasn't all that bad, and it's one of my most viewed videos without even trying. All I did was say I was doing a review for like 2 episodes or 3 episodes or something, and I didn't want to space it out like drop this video, drop this video, drop this video, when I had already watched all 3, and I could just in one video tell you how I felt about all of them in a span of that. And by doing that, I got the most hate I've ever seen, I got the most views I've ever seen, and I got the most likes I've ever seen. So, because people knew I literally said review in the title, and yet people still came to me like, bro, this is clickbait. How is it clickbait? I said this is review. Just like how every other every other video I have is a review. Like, I talk about literally one thing, and that's the thing that's in the title. So I didn't make you click anything that you shouldn't have expected. But I didn't care. People are already telling me I should quit and never make a video again. Those people make me laugh because they have so much free time to do this while they could have put all that effort into making their own video. So it's whatever, whatevs. I hope everybody just does what you want to do. Never feel like whatever you're doing is so bad that it's ruining someone's life, unless you really are. Like, if you are doing any harm to anybody, why are you being pestered? Why are you caring what people have to say? So take care of yourself, and then worry about what others think later. I've learned that quite a bit and throughout my life. And now that we are on to the next show and the next series and the next, like, after the show ends, I have nothing to almost talk about on Wednesday besides just basketball. Two shows are gone just like that, and out of I've been running out of stuff to talk about on Tuesdays and Fridays because nothing comes on. So we'll see how it all plays out. With all that being said, everybody, hope you take care and have an awesome day, night, evening, whatever the case may be. I am your boy, the Anime G, and I will definitely get to you something if I don't have anything to talk about. Look out for the daily content, and take care. Peace.